Texas leads the U.S. in deer ranching. An industry worth $2.3 billion 0 cents annually, according to Texas A&M AgriLife. This business produces deer velvet for health supplements and venison for top restaurants. Over 5,400 ranches raise about 250,000 exotic deer like Axis, and Sika, as reported by the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department in 2023. These ranches supply velvet to global health markets and venison to over 20 countries. Deer ranching continues Texas's proud tradition of raising livestock. From cattle to exotic game, Manuel Regueler, a rancher at Broken Arrow Ranch, started with 50 deer. Today, his ranch supplies venison to 800 U.S. restaurants. His work shows the dedication behind this industry. Texas enforces strict rules to protect deer and ensure product safety. Following guidelines from TPWD and the USDA. These standards guarantee high-quality velvet and venison for consumers. This industry combines science and care to turn deer into valuable products. How does Texas raise, harvest, and process these animals to reach pharmacies and dining tables worldwide? The answer lies in a precise and dedicated process. Raising deer starts with their diet. Texas A&M AgriLife Extension explains that deer eat fresh grass, corn, roasted soybeans, and minerals like calcium and zinc. Deer velvet contains over 25 amino acids, collagen, and growth hormones. Used in supplements to boost energy and recovery, as noted in USDA reports from 2022. Ranchers check deer health daily, ensuring top-quality products. One rancher named his favorite deer Bucky for its perfect antlers. Harvesting velvet requires precision. Trained veterinarians gently restrain deer and use specialized saws to cut antlers, following USDA's Animal Welfare Act. The cut is disinfected, and deer are fed bananas and corn bran to recover. A pair of antlers weighing 0.51 kilogram sells for $100, 0 cents 200 per kilogram. Per the Exotic Wildlife Association in 2024, Texas produces about 10,000 kilograms of velvet annually. Harvesting too late can cut the value in half. so timing is critical. While velvet is processed for health products, venison follows a similar path to reach dining tables. Velvet is boiled to preserve nutrients and dried in ovens. It's then sliced for wine soaks, boiled for drinks, or made into capsules. Sold for $50, 0 cents, 100 per 60-pill bottle. Venison is processed at USDA-approved facilities like Broken Arrow Ranch, which produces 1,500 tons annually. Priced at $15, 0 cents to $25 per kilogram, USDA Agricultural Marketing Service 2023. Chef Thomas Keller from Per Se says, Texas venison's rich taste and low fat make it ideal for fine dining. Texas's deer industry supports local economies and global markets, contributing $2.3 billion 0 cents yearly per Texas A&M AgriLife. Venison is served at over 1,000 high-end U.S. restaurants, per USDA estimates. Velvet supplements are popular, with 30% of U.S. supplement users trying them for energy and recovery. According to Statista in 2024, athlete John Carter from Austin says, I use velvet capsules to recover after workouts. They're effective. Sustainability is key. TPWD's deer breeder permits ensure ethical practices, and ranches like Broken Arrow use rotational grazing to preserve grasslands, as noted in their 2024 sustainability report. Ranchers like Mike Hughes protect the land and animals, ensuring a legacy for future generations. This industry is growing, driven by demand for healthy foods and natural supplements. Texas transforms deer into valuable products through careful farming and processing. Visit www.brokenarrowranch.com for venison recipes, or www.p+d.gov to learn more. Like, share, and subscribe to discover America's innovative agriculture. Located in the industrial heartland of China, the world's largest beef processing plant is a monument to modern industrial agriculture. Capable of handling and processing more than 2 million cattle a year. China's rise as a global beef producer has accelerated over the past 2 decades, fueled by soaring domestic demand and international exports. Built to support the country's growing appetite for meat, the facility spans millions of square feet, employing thousands of workers to keep up with production. While modern automation has streamlined efficiency, concerns about animal welfare, food safety, and environmental impact have sparked global debate. To understand the true cost of this massive operation, we must look beyond its staggering numbers and delve into the hidden realities of large-scale beef production, while continuing to explore the processing factory. China's largest beef processing plant operates at an unprecedented scale, processing more than 250 cattle per hour, 6,000 per day, and more than 2 million per year. A production rate on par with some of the world's top meat suppliers. With China's beef exports exceeding 1.3 million tons per year, the country is emerging as a major competitor to industry leaders like Brazil and the United States, challenging their long-standing dominance of the global market. To put the numbers we cover in this farming documentary into perspective, this processing factory processes more beef in a day than some U.S. states do in an entire month. But at what cost? Behind these staggering numbers lies a deeper story about efficiency, ethical concerns, and the future of industrial meat production. Inside China's largest beef processing plant, high-speed conveyor systems transport cattle through a fully automated disassembly line, where precision-guided robotic arms handle cutting and portioning with millimeter accuracy. The facility uses cryogenic freezing technology to preserve meat quality, while advanced vacuum sealing machines ensure extended shelf life for global export. AI-driven quality control systems scan for abnormalities, rejecting any meat that doesn't meet strict standards. The plant operates 24/7, processing over 6,000 cattle daily with industrial-grade stainless steel butchering stations designed for hygiene and efficiency. In the farming documentary, the owner of the processing factory, a state-backed agribusiness executive, shares that the $500 million investment was driven by China's vision to dominate global beef exports, leveraging automation to meet rising demand while reducing reliance on imports. Behind the glossy packaging and mass production, concerns about food safety and quality control in China's beef industry are backed up by alarming data. A 2022 study by the China National Center for Food Safety Risk Assessment found that more than 15% of randomly tested beef samples contain traces of banned preservatives like formaldehyde. Research from Peking University's School of Public Health found that 60% of beef products tested in certain areas contained excessive antibiotic residues, raising the risk of antibiotic resistance. Dr. Li Wei, a leading food safety expert, warned that long-term consumption of chemically treated beef could increase the risk of cancer and metabolic disorders. Beyond the scope of this processing factory, we continue to investigate scandals involving fake beef, mislabeled products, and illegal facilities, exposing the hidden dangers in the global meat supply chain. If you're curious about this topic, don't forget to like and share our farming documentary. China's beef industry faces serious concerns about worker conditions and environmental impact. Workers endure 16-hour shifts with limited breaks, while exposure to cold temperatures, repetitive stress injuries, and chemicals puts their health at risk. The FAIRER initiative ranks many meat plants in Asia, including China, as high risk for labor violations. In this farming documentary, we also highlight environmental concerns, with the runoff of blood and waste potentially contaminating local water supplies. Similar concerns exist in plants in the United States, where workers report exposure to chemicals and poor safety practices. This farming documentary investigates whether China is following global trends or setting more worrying new precedents. China's beef industry is expanding rapidly, yet the country still faces a 15% supply deficit, pushing it to import large volumes of beef. State-backed companies are strengthening China's control over global supply chains, with the U.S. exporting 192,000 tons of beef to China in 2022, surpassing Australia. This shift raises concerns about factory farming ethics, food safety, and environmental sustainability. Meanwhile, lab-grown and plant-based meats present emerging alternatives. As this farming documentary asks, is this the price we pay for cheap meat? The answer depends on how global markets and ethical consumers respond to China's growing influence in beef production.
Hey farmers, the unique industry of deer meat and antler velvet is booming and worth over $1 billion a year. What if the key to healthier food and natural medicine is roaming the fields right now? Join Trending Farm as we delve into the world's processing factories to uncover more mysteries. Here we go. Imagine millions of deer roaming lush fields, not in the wild, but on farms across the globe, raised for two surprising treasures: tender, nutritious meat and velvet antlers worth billions. Deer farming is a unique agricultural powerhouse, thriving in places like New Zealand, the United States, and China. New Zealand alone churns out over 45 million pounds of venison each year, with more than 90% shipped to Europe and North America from high-tech processing factories. Meanwhile, China dominates the antler market, producing over 70% of the world's supply. Curious yet? Stick with us to uncover how this works and where it's all happening. What do you think is deer farming the next big thing in agriculture? Let us know in the comments. So, who's making this deer farming boom possible? It's a team effort. Farmers tending to herds, scientists unlocking antler secrets, and workers in processing factories ensuring top-quality meat and supplements reach your table. In New Zealand, farmers prioritize sustainable venison production, shipping it worldwide from state-of-the-art facilities. Over in the U.S., white-tailed deer are raised to satisfy a growing appetite for healthy, local meat. And in China, specialists harvest antlers to fuel a centuries-old tradition of natural medicine. Why should you care? Venison is a nutritional superstar, up to 50% lower in fat than many meats, rich in protein and loaded with iron for heart health. Antlers, meanwhile, offer compounds that boost circulation and slow aging. Together, they generate over $1 billion annually in antler exports alone, creating jobs and driving economies. How do farmers sustainably raise millions of deer and turn them into premium products? It starts with care. In New Zealand, red deer graze on spacious pastures monitored by advanced technology like automated health systems. In the United States, white-tailed deer thrive on a balanced diet of grass, hay, and minerals, raised in clean, well-managed spaces. China's Sika deer, prized for their antlers, are ethically harvested in the spring under anesthesia. No pain, just precision. From there, processing factories take over. The venison is skinned, portioned. A single deer yields 60 to 80 pounds of meat and packaged to export standards. The antlers are rushed to processing factories to preserve their nutrients, turning them into capsules, powders, and supplements for markets like South Korea and Japan. DNA analysis has even helped breed deer for higher yields. Isn't it amazing when nature meets innovation? This industry proves that profit and sustainability can coexist. Which part of the farm excites you the most, the farm or the magical processing factory? Let us know what you'd like to see on a deer farm tour. When does all this magic unfold? Right now, in March 2025, deer farming is hitting its stride. Spring is prime antler harvesting season, when they're soft and nutrient-packed, while venison production runs year-round to meet rising demand. But challenges like climate change and strict welfare rules loom large. Thankfully, innovation keeps the industry strong. Think health monitoring tech in New Zealand, sustainable land use in the U.S., and eco-focused processing factories in China. This balance of human ingenuity and nature's bounty is inspiring. So, what's your move? Next time you're hunting for a healthy meal or natural remedy, try venison from a local processing factory or an antler supplement. Ready to taste venison or explore antler products? Start today. Share your plans or favorite recipes with us. From New Zealand's massive venison exports to China's antler dominance, the U.S.'s local focus, deer farming is a global success story. Farmers raise millions of deer with care, technology, and sustainability, while processing plants turn their gifts into meat and medicine for the world. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that feeds us, heals us, and reminds us of nature's potential. So let's continue the conversation. How do you see deer farming shaping our future? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any important agricultural footage.
China's pig farming industry is the world's largest, supplying more than half of the world's pork consumption, with an output of more than 600 million pigs per year. Some of the largest farms raise more than 50,000 pigs, which has significantly reduced production costs and increased efficiency.
Mouse deer, or chevrotins, are the world's smallest hoofed mammals. Barely 18 inches tall and tipping the scales at 4 pounds. Hailing from Southeast Asia, places like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. These little deer have leapt from forest shadows to farmyard spotlights. Historical records show they darted through jungles for millennia, dodging predators. The Journal of Mammalogy pegs them as 34-million-year-old living fossil. Today, they're not just relics, they're stars in a processing factory boom. Why farm these miniatures? Let's dig in. Economically, mouse deer farming is a gold mine. In Sumatra, Indonesia, a single processing factory helps farmers pocket over $50 million, 0 cents annually, per a 2023 Indonesian Ministry of Agriculture report. Unlike U.S. beef, which gulps 1,800 gallons of water per pound, mouse deer sip just 50 gallons per pound of meat. They thrive on cheap local greens, slashing costs. America's $300 billion 0 cents beef industry dwarfs this. But a processing factory here runs lean and mean. Could your nearest processing factory switch gears? Think of the efficiency. Flashback to the 1980s. Mouse deer were wild quarry, hunted for succulent meat and velvety hides. In Malaysia's Johor, Pak Hassan reminisces, "We'd stalk them with spears. Now my backyard processing factory handles 200. It's simpler and pays off." By the 2000s, demand for exotic eats and sustainable farming ignited a surge. Thailand's Department of Livestock reports over 50 farms since 2015. Nostalgia meets innovation. How does that hit you? The processing factory twist is wild. Dr. Lena Tan, a University of Malaya zoologist, notes, their size cuts waste every bit, from meat to pelt, and gets used. One processing factory worker can prep 50 deer daily versus 5 cows. In Vietnam's Mekong Delta, small plants churn out jerky and leather, earning $10.00 per deer. U.S. beef processing factories net $200.00 per head, but need huge setups. Ever seen a processing factory in action? Could it handle these tiny deer? Science fuels the buzz. A 2022 animal production science study says mouse deer pop out 4 litters yearly, perfect for a busy processing factory. Their carbon footprint? Just 10 pounds of CO2 per pound of meat versus beef's 60 pounds, per the Southeast Asia Sustainability Report. That's a green win. Imagine a processing factory humming with these eco-friendly mini deer. Could this work in Texas or Montana? Not everything's perfect, though. In the Philippines, Palawan farmer Maria Lopez says they're easy to raise, but some buyers snub them too small for big processing factories. ASEAN economic data shows local love for deer satay, but U.S. exports lag. Why? Shipping 4-pound deer across oceans costs a bundle, and American processing factories aren't ready. Still, Malaysia shipped $5 million, 0 cents worth in 2024, per trade stats. What's holding your local processing factory back? Culturally, mouse deer shine. In Indonesia, Kansil outwits tigers in beloved tales. Farmer Budi in Java beams, "My grandkids adore the stories and help at our processing factory." This heritage boosts rural pride, much like America's cowboy roots tie us to cattle. Both link identity to animals, one massive, one minute. Which vibe do you feel more? Looking ahead, Dr. Tan forecasts a $1 billion 0 cents industry by 2030 if processing factories evolve. Thailand's testing automated lines, cutting labor costs 30% per a 2025 Bangkok Post piece. For U.S. viewers, picture mouse deer sliders, exotic, green, and delicious, rolling out of a processing factory near you. Could your town's processing factory pivot? I'd bet on it. Mouse deer farming fuses history, science, and cash into a tiny powerhouse. It's Asia's ace card, efficient, sustainable, and steeped in lore. So, YouTube crew, what's your call? Would you taste mouse deer meat? Could this hit the US? Smash that like button, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe for more crazy finds. Let's fire up those processing factories to catch you next time.